In this lecture, we will be talking about cherubism. Cherubism is a familial fibrous dysplasia of the jaws. It is considered to be a special variant of fibrous dysplasia. It is also genetically mediated and it is autosomal dominant. It is said to have 100% penetrance in males. That means from the parents to the males, the disease definitely gets transferred. This disease is usually bilaterally seen, and radiographically you see a tooth floating in cystic space appearance. It has characteristic elevated alkaline phosphatase levels, and histologically you see lot of giant cells along with a characteristic perivascular eosinophilic cuffing. The word cherub is given to an angel. The angel is said to have very prominent chubby cheeks, and they seem to be wondering and dreaming. So they have a characteristic eyes looking at the heaven. So they have the characteristic features of this angel that has been described. So let's have a look at the clinical features and you will understand why it is called cherubism. It is an autosomal dominant disease and the patients usually are normal at birth. At around 2 to 5 years, when the first spurt of growth happens, you find evidence of increased enlargement of certain parts of the face, whichever is involved by cherubism. It keeps on increasing till puberty, where the second growth spurt happens, and later on it automatically regresses by 12 to 15 years. So have a look at this child. This picture is courtesy of Marks and Stern, a textbook, and you can see the prominent chubby cheeks that you see, usually seen as a bilateral involvement. In this case, the ramus is involved and the body of the mandible is involved, giving rise to this kind of appearance. Another picture, you can see this child having a prominent chubby appearance. This is also associated with cervical lymphadenopathy and usually seen as a painless bilateral expansion. When the maxilla is involved, the floor of the orbit gets affected, giving rise to an eyes upturned towards heaven appearance. You see more part of the lower sclera. Oral manifestations are pretty unique. Because of the enlargement of the bone, the teeth get displaced. There is premature exfoliation of the primary teeth and delayed eruption of the permanent teeth because of the impaction that is taking place. There is transpositioning and rotation of the teeth because of the abnormally forming bone. The second and third molar may not form also, giving rise to absence of these two teeth. Let's have a look at certain aspects of grading system of cherubism. These pictures are also taken from a textbook called as Marks and Stern, and here you can make out that in grade 1 both the rami are involved. So you can see the posterior part of the mandible, the full ramus is involved. And if you look at the patient, she doesn't seem to have any gross deformity of the face. But when you take a radiograph, you can appreciate that the bilateral ramus is involved and the third molar is also involved. In grade 2, not only is the ramus and part of the body involved, but portions of the maxilla are also involved, especially the tuberosity region. And you can make out that the chubby cheeks are more prominent compared to grade 1. And here you can appreciate the extent of the lesion with maxilla also being involved. Grade 3 is very severe, in which the whole of the mandible is involved and also the whole of the maxillary processes, tuberosity, anterior part of the palate are all involved. And you can see a very prominent cherubic face, and you can see all the teeth are displaced in grade 3. Radiographically, the enlargement of the bone is the first most common feature. There will be expansion of the bone with radio-opaque and radiolucent areas, and this is mainly because of the abnormally growing bone. And you can appreciate the bilaterality of this lesion. Cherubism is usually bilateral. There may be a lot of unerupted teeth, and because of this abnormal bone, the tooth may not form also, leading to agenesis of especially the second and the third molars. The teeth are displaced and they appear to be floating inside the bone. Hence the name tooth floating in cystic spaces appearance or floating tooth syndrome appearance. Histologically, the features are very similar to that of fibrous dysplasia, with an addition of numerous giant cells being present in the connective tissue. You will have a fibrous connective tissue with trabeculae of woven bone with numerous giant cells that are being present. You can appreciate multinucleated giant cells scattered irregularly all throughout the connective tissue. Histologically, you have to differentiate it from the other two lesions, that is central giant cell granuloma and hyperparathyroidism, both of which are also giant cell lesions, but they are not associated with genetic mutation. You can see that there is a collagenous connective tissue stroma with multinucleated giant cells scattered haphazardly. There will be osteoclastic resorption seen with small spicules of bone found here and there. There will be a lot of hemorrhage which gets destroyed and the heme that is present gets released, leading to hemosiderin pigmentation. There are numerous multinucleated giant cells which resemble that of an osteoclast. Another characteristic feature is the perivascular eosinophilic cuffing around the blood vessels. You will see blood vessels which will have a characteristic eosinophilic collar, which is a characteristic feature of cherubism. There is no treatment required for such an entity. Most likely the growth spurt subsides and then it gives rise to a resolution of the lesion. Here, these two pictures, you can see that the facial expansion in a 9-year-old girl is very prominent, but at the age of 17, it comes back to normal and remodeling without surgery. So today we spoke about cherubism. Cherubism is a special variant of fibrous dysplasia, which is an autosomal dominant condition which has 100% penetrance in males. Usually a bilateral lesions, and we saw 3 grades of cherubism. Grade 1 involving the ramus of the mandible, grade 2 involving the ramus and body of the mandible with some portion of the tuberosity of the maxilla, grade 3 involved the whole of the mandible and the maxilla. The enlargement of the bone led to floating tooth syndrome. Elevated alkaline phosphatase levels are noted. Numerous giant cells with perivascular eosinophilic cuffing is the histological feature of cherubism.